Okay, boxing fans, I'm just coming to you real quickly just to give my breakdown or a little breakdown of the Triple G Gennady Golovkin versus Kell Brook fight, and basically my breakdown before the fight. This is something that I don't usually do. I'll tell people, my friends, and my son, and we'll talk about the fights, upcoming fights, and who we think is gonna win, and who I think and why. But I usually don't do videos and all that stuff. I usually don't have time to do this. But I got a little bit of time, so I'm gonna break this down. I'm picking Kell Brook, and this is no knock to Triple G. I'm not gonna come on here and talk about Triple G being a bum or nothing like that. Triple G's a very good fighter. Um, I just don't think he's a dynamic fighter, but he could be still. I don't think he's had the right opponents in front of him to really be able to call him a dynamic fighter, in my opinion. I think this is the best test that he's going to have against Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a slick fighter, um, a very good boxer, has a good jab, has good boxing IQ, and most people who are favoring Triple G is because of the power, and I understand that. I'm not mad at that at all because power is just one style of boxing, and styles make fights, and whoever can impose their style on the other guy's style is going to win the fight. I've seen guys who are knockout artists get beaten by slick boxers, and I've seen guys who are knockout artists knock out slick boxers. It just depends on the fighter and the skill level and who has it that night under the lights. But I'm leaning towards Special K. I think Kell Brook. I always thought he was a special fighter. I thought he was underrated. I thought he was the best welterweight um, since Mayweather retired. I believed he was the best welterweight, better than Thurman, and I think Spence is the best up and coming welterweight. But I still had Kell Brook ahead of him. But anyway, this fight, I believe that it's going to take Kell Brook early on to make Gennady Golovkin not come forward. He's got to make him change his mind and make him respect him early. I mean, and this is very cliche, but it's the truth. I mean, if you look at Gennady Golovkin, he's a come forward fighter. Now, we've never seen somebody really make Gennady Golovkin go backwards. You know, can he fight going backwards? And can Kell Brook, does he have enough power to hurt him? And you see, one thing about hurting fighters, it's not always about power. A lot of times you could hurt a guy, you know, by getting hit by something you don't see coming. Guys get hit by something they don't see coming, and that can hurt them. Doesn't necessarily mean that guy has a lot of power, but if you get stunned, you can get stunned, and that's what I'm saying. We got to see him get hit on the chin with a good punch, solid puncher, and a good fighter, and see how Gennady Golovkin responds. And sometimes when you're a come forward guy like that, because of your power and because you've never really felt anything that is going to make you back up, it's easy to get caught by a punch that you don't see coming because you start to believe you're invincible. Not he's not that Gennady Golovkin's cocky. I think he's a good guy. Actually, I like Gennady Golovkin, but I just don't think he has more skills than Kell Brook. But does that mean Kell Brook has to win because he has more skills? No. But um, don't just go by the power. Mike Tyson was vicious with power, but he had more skills than that. And I think Gennady Golovkin is the same. Gennady Golovkin, I've watched some of his fights, and I don't think he's just a power puncher. I think he has some good fundamental skills of boxing. He can use his jab. He just doesn't usually have to. But I've seen him use his jab. I've seen him cut the ring off. I've seen him be calculated with his attacks. So he's not just a bum. He's not just a powering slugger. Yes, he's known for his power, but he has a little bit more boxing skills than that. So I give him that credit. Kell Brooks is a skilled, slick fighter, and he has more power than people are giving him credit for. So it's that situation. And let me just get into it. A lot of people, you talk about Buster Douglas upsetting Mike Tyson. You go back and even Kell Brook mentioned Ali upsetting Sonny Liston. But the fight that really comes to mind with this one happened 90 years ago, September 23rd, 1926. Um, and that was, Gene Tunney upsetting Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey was a power puncher, knockout artist, and he took out many guys that were bigger than him because of his power. And Gene Tunney was the slick fighter. He was a slick boxer and very high ring IQ, which I believe Kell Brook has. And he was able to outpoint Jack Dempsey and really frustrate him. And he beat him. He didn't knock him out, of course, because I don't necessarily think Special K is going to knock out Gennady Golovkin. But I wouldn't be shocked either, because, like I said, he has more power than people give him credit for. But the punch that I think that you might see a lot of is a lot of left hooks. Watch for the left hook. Watch for the counter left hook. The counter left hook or a check left hook. I don't know why. I just believe there's a left hook that could shock Golovkin and maybe get him back on his heels a little bit. And also, I think that Kell Brook could shock people by um, winning the inside fighting, which would shock a lot of people. If Kell Brook can win, now I'm not saying he's going to stay in the pocket the whole night because I think he'll use some movements. I think he'll try to pivot and turn Golovkin. But I think when he does fight in moments in the inside, I think he might surprise some people that he lands some of the cleaner shots on Golovkin. And it will shock Golovkin as well and put a little bit of doubt in his mind. But the left hook um, has hurt Golovkin in the past. I think he's susceptible to a counter left hook, and I'm going to show you some reasons why. I believe that, and it's a punch that Kell Brook doesn't have to really train. I mean, he trains for it, but it's a punch that he's used on other fighters before. It's a punch that he has in his arsenal, and I think it could hurt Golovkin not off of one punch, but I think a accumulation of those type of punches could really affect and change the tide of the fight. So let's look at what I'm talking about here. Has Golovkin, could it hurt Golovkin? Well, let's see.